Hi guys, and welcome to Advanced Payroll Management System developed using Excel with VBA. And let me show you guys how this works. Right here we have the search engine, and one good thing about this lesson is we can search with any of these fields here, any field you want. Let's assume you want to go for SMG space 009. Let's go in there, and in there just type in SMG space 009. Click on search. SMG space 009. Okay, that's the company name. And let's assume we want to look for More Gas Limited. There we go, that's More Gas Limited. And if we come in here, we should be able to find that should be More Gas. There we go, that is it right there. And as you can see, we seem to have some duplicate in there, which I propose to the left. So I'm going to come in here, look at Femi Wales. Can we delete that? Yes, we can. We can delete Pan Africa as well. You can delete as many as you want, and you can even print. Now let's go back into the front cover itself. Right in here, the other thing that we can do is we can reset and enter some other individuals' details in here. Let's say the company's name is Goodman. That's a Goodman More. And in here, employee's name, that is Larry Townsend. And here, and wages, that is his waiting allowance. And okay, any other payment? None. So all we then need to do is just to click on add. There we go. The period of pay, tax code, NI code, and so on. You can see that. That is how this whole system works. But now let's check if it's saved straight onto our sheet here. Let's see, that's the Larry Townsend. And the other thing is, let's check the main spreadsheet itself. So I'm going to just take it down. There we go, that is Larry Townsend right there. Okay, so I'm going to take it back, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Excel development environment, and we'll put one of these together. And welcome back to Advanced Payroll Management System. Now we're starting a new project, but before I start, let's go to File and just get this one saved. And we save it as, and I will save it right here. Let's call it Advanced Payroll Management System Pulse. Let's come in here, but first of all, you see where we have Excel macro enable. I'm going to change it to that, and the name of the project is going to be Excel Advanced. Let's call it Excel Advanced Payroll _ Paul, because it's going to my second channel. So let's click on save. There. Now that you guys understand how it's saved, the next thing we want to do is to go straight to the developer tab here. Select Visual Basic. But one thing first, if you don't have your developer tab here enabled, if you don't have it, you go straight to the file, select options, and this dialog box pops up. Select customize ribbon, and make sure you have the popular controls. Make sure that is selected in here, and you then look for developer. Make sure it is checked. Once it's checked, that is it. Click on OK, and the dialog should be displayed right up here. So select the developer dialog, and let's go straight into Visual Basic. Now that Visual Basic development environment is opened, click on Insert and select User Form. Now let's define the size of this user form. First of all, I'm just going to change the caption to Advanced Payroll Management System. Now let's come right down here. You see where we have height. I'm going to change that to 800. Scroll right down, then we have the width. Let's change that to 1040. There we go. Now that that is sorted, now go straight into your toolbox. If you don't have your toolbox, it should be here, right there. So select your toolbox. What I want is, you see multiple page, there's another one there called tab strip. I don't want that. I want the multiple page. Click on the multiple page. Make sure that is the one you guys are using. Multiple page. For the first page, right click on it. Let's rename it, and I'm going to call that payroll system. Here I'm going to just enter letter P as the shortcut, and here that will be control, like a tooltip. So I'm just going to call that payroll management system. Alright, click on OK. There. Now for the second one, I'm going to right click on it as well. Just change that to wages details. And here I'm going to make the shortcut W, and in here we just enter wages details information, something like that. So also it's the same thing. There we go. Now that is done. Now we now need to add some frames to this and bring this right down here. So that is fine. Okay, so the very first object I'm going to add now, I'm going to add a label, and inside our label I'll just change that to advanced payroll management system. And the font size, let's increase the font size to something readable. Make that bold, and I'm going to make that maybe about 50. There we go. Just extend it that much. That might be too, I think that might be too large, so let's reduce that. Let's go for maybe about 40 now and see. Okay, for now I may have to adjust it. There we go. That's how that is looking. That's the title. Now grab a hold of a frame. Just draw the frame that much and all the way. And this frame we have, first of all, let's delete the text on it. Frame that is gone. Hold onto it and just drag it down. Just copied one, and here I'm going to add another label, and I will also add another label again. Yeah, but first of all, let's change the font of this. Make that bold, and I'm going to make that maybe 20. Okay, that is fine. And just copy the data in this one. I'm going to change that to barcode. And the second one here, I'm going to carry out some changes in there. The name is going to be LBL barcode as a variable name, and let's carry out some changes. Border style, let's say single, style is single, and the background, I'm going to change that to white. Get rid of the text content. There we go. Because I want to use this for barcode, I'm going to go in here, download, you see the font.com, and inside the font.com I'm going to even copy, let's copy this URL. This is the URL for it. Just type in the font.com. Let's increase the font size so that you guys can see it. I will also include the URL in my description area. That is it right there. Okay, so that is it, thefont.com. Now there. Okay, now what you need is, the one I need is called, I think I'm wrong, I think it's called C code 39. There we go, look at it. So you download this and get it installed straight onto your system. Once it's installed onto your system, all you need to do is select your objects and go to the font. Right inside the font here, just type in CC, and that's it right there. I'm going to select that. I want it regular. Okay, that's a regular. I'm going to select that for this very component. Click on OK. That's it. I've just added the barcode to these objects. Now going to add another frame here, and this very frame is going to take in details of the employee. So let's come in here. I'm going to grab a hold of this, and I'll just change the font. I think the font is a little bit too big there. Let's go for maybe about 18 or so. Right, and copy. Okay, so I'm going to change this. Let's change it to change the border style to fixed single, back color as well, change it to black. I could have used this, but I've already added barcode to it. Just delete the barcode on it, and this is going to be for my reference. There we go. Alright, I might not have enough room for this if I want to go like that, so let's do one thing. Come back in here, let's just get it sorted at once. So let's change it to about 14. Okay, now select both. Oh no, let's just copy this. Then I'm going to add a text box here. Right, and that text box, change the font as well to about 14 bold. Right, and I'm going to copy this now. Change the text content in here to reference. Yeah, reference number. And the next one here, I'm going to change that to change the data in there. All you need to do is go to the caption and just change it. That is going to be employer name, then followed by employee name, and this is going to be employee name. There. Let's add a bit of room to that so that we can see what we're up to. Okay, getting somewhere. Okay, now underneath here is going to be, let's add address and so on. Copy that, bring this here. Notice there's no framework here. Okay, so copy this again, bring it down, and hit this one. I'm going to delete that because I'm going to change that to a combo box. Let's see, this is a combo box. Good. There. And the size, make that 14 as well. Font size, change that to 14. Bold. That's sorted as well. We now need, I'm going to copy this now. Hold on to the control, just click and drag to copy. Dump it somewhere so that I can bring it in safely. Right there. Okay, looking good. That's how I want that there. But this, I don't want that. It's got to be a text box so that I can add the data myself. Copy this, drag it down. Now copy this there, release. Very good. So we change the data in here. This one is going to be inner city wages, and this is going to be basic pay or basic salary. Overtime. Then here, that is going to be any other kind of payment, other payments. Very good. Now this one here, we change that to tax. Pension. That to be student loan. And we have NI payment. And all the components, we have the names of the list box apart from their prefix. Okay, this is going to be TXT. No, this shouldn't be a TXT. That should be ordinary label. Delete. I'm going to copy this one. Hold on to the control, click and drag. Bring it right in. I'm using the label for that because you will have to write a code that will generate all the information that goes in there. Okay, that's good. So these are our labels. Here we have to enter the data in there. That's good. Alright, so I believe you guys get the whole idea. I'm going to now this one. Let's change this so that you guys see that as well. This is postcode. And this is going to be gender. And here that's going to be address. There we go. Alright, that's good. So all Jen needs to do is just to copy and populate the whole interface. So that shouldn't take long. So you guys have seen how it's all put together anyway. Copy this, put it here. That's going to be for my search. And I'm going to add a button here. Something like that. Add a label here. Bring it down. That's fine. Get rid of the text content on that label. One label here. Bring this down. And move this. here. So we just need to copy some data into it now. So I'm going to copy this. Let's grab 2 each. 2 goes here, 2 here. Alright, and this one, that should take about 4 of those. Undo that. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring it back in. Copy. Alright, select this. There we go. Okay guys, we are almost there. Right, and way up here I'm gonna need another one, and here that's gonna be buttons. Let's copy again and copy. So it might not look that pretty now. Well, let me show it to you guys. I just need to modify the interface, then I'll get back to you guys. All I just need to do is just to give them a name and rearrange it, just arrange it properly. I'm going to speed that up and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, I've finished tidying up the whole interface. This is how it's looking now. Looks much better. So now in here just enter default details in there, but let's come in here, select this. I'm going to change the back color of that to green, and I'm going to repeat the same thing to this one here. Let's change that to green. Right, and this one I'm going to change the back color as well to green. Now the font, let's make it white. Very good. Now you see this, I just have female in there inside the text box as the default, but we can do one thing. Either leave that as the default or come in here, grab the name and double click on the form itself. But what we need, instead of form click, I'm going to change that to form activate or form initialize. Let's see. Okay, very good. Let's initialize in there. So paste that in this, and that's a dot, add item, and the very first item we can just call that female. There we go. And the default, I don't know, maybe I should add a default to it. That should be in a quote really. This should be in a quote as well. There we go. Okay, that is taken care of. So if we run it now, okay, let's just click on run. There we go. Okay, you can have default value if you want. Now here you see these two. Let's do one thing. The month is August, so I want this one to show number and this one to show the month's details. So to do that, let me do one thing, exit out. First of all, let's come in here, say inside the worksheet itself, on this very first cell A1, I'm going to enter employee, let's say employee name. Then the next one is going to be address, postcode, gender. Let's make sure that it's bold though. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's make sure it's bold. Then here I'm going to enter, let's say, reference number and so on. Okay, what I'm actually entering there is what I have in here. Okay, so let's complete that. I have reference number, then I'm going to have employee, employer name, and so on. Okay guys, I have entered all the columns, and in total is 24. So have a good look at it. Okay, let's take it from here. Employee address, postcode, gender, reference, employer name, basic salary, inner city wages, overtime, gross pay, tax, pension, student loan, NI, payment. Then we have deduction, pay date, tax period, tax code, NI code, taxable pay, and here we have pensionable pay. Let's delete that I, and we have net pay here. That's your recommendation. You can just enter whatever you like in here. I just put that in there, and that's it. So that's taken care of. Picture is saved, and I'm going to go back to my Visual Basic. There we go, right here. Now, so let's go to tab number 2 here. I'm now going to add a list box, this very one, and I will also add a frame. Grab hold of a frame, draw it there. Get rid of the text content on it, and let's add buttons. We have 1, 2, and 3 there. Now we change the back color as well to green. There we go. This is going to be maybe exit, then maybe print here, just like I have on the other ones, and this will be delete. There. And I'm changing the name of this one to LBLST display. Alright, so come back in here. I'm back in my code view. I want to be able to add date and so on here, and the month, number of the month, and the name of the month in here. So let's come back in here. I'm still in form initialize, so let's come down. But first of all, you see LST display dot column count. I'm gonna make the column about, maybe let's go for 11. I'm not going to enter the whole 24 columns in there. So that'll be about 11, and let's come down here. And now we also say the role source, that is going to start from A1 column. Let's say X. Okay, X 65,356. Yeah, that will do. Yeah, that's enough. Alright, so that's that taken care of. Now the next thing is, you see the tax. I need the name of this is LBL tax period, and this one is CBO tax period. So I'm going to grab hold of tax period and just come right down inside the code here. So I will start by saying CBO dot add, and that is going to be equals January. So let's just copy that. We need 12 of those. And I'm going to change the names around. This is going to be December, November, October, and that will be September. Then this is the month we are in. Let's say August, we just type it all out. Or be July, June, May, April, then we have March, Feb, and that's it. I think I have too many there. So that would be for the month. So if I run that, oh, let's see, they should all be in brackets. Come on, I should have known that. There. Okay, let's get it right properly. Go back in there. So let's just put brackets on all of them. Okay, copy, just press Control H. Anyone with this will become bracket, Control H, and that'll be bracket and there. Yeah, that's it, done. Okay, but we shouldn't have that here. Now here, just close it all. And this. Close this. There we go. Right, that's that done. And here, let's just get rid of this one there. Okay, so if I run it now, this is what we get. Okay, so if this one becomes August, this should automatically become 8. So let's go back in here and just take care of that one. Come right down here. Okay, right underneath here, let's do one thing first. You see the dates? I'm going to grab hold of the dates. Let's go back inside the code, paste that there, and I'm just going to say dot caption, and that is going to be equals, let's say, format dates. There. And right there, that should give me the date. So if I run it now, look, that is the date. Now let's end that. Come back in here. Okay, you see right at the top, let me declare some variables first. Okay, first of all, for the variable, I'm just going to enter option explicit. There. Now, the very first variable, I'm going to say dim, in at city, that will be as double there, and I'll declare the following as well. So those are the variables I intend to use. Okay, now the very first variable that is here, this one, I'm going to make use of this one, this string variable. The date and the month, I'll be making use of those inside the form initialize here. So what I want to try and achieve is this should tell me the number of the months. This is August, so this should become 8. Why this will automatically default to August, although we can always make changes if we have to, but the system should automatically take care of that. That's what I want to try and achieve now. Come back in here, back to the form initialize. So come right down here, let's enter some space so that you guys can see it. Now the very first one is going to be, let's say, dates. That is going to be equals, let's get it formatted, format date, comma, and that should give me middle date. So that should be able to tell us if it's August or whatever as a string character. Then that's, we then want months, month number. We want it to take whatever value we have inside dates, this very one here. Okay, I'm going to copy that and let's use the default. Let's say months. Paste that in there first, and here that's going to be months. Okay, there. So that should officially tell us the month. Okay, this is a function within the system, within Visual Studio, within VBA. Now we now want the tax, LBL tax period, to tell us which month it is, which month number. So LBL tax period dot caption, that will be equals the month number. There we go. This should be able to tell us if it's 8, 1 or 2 or whatever. So let's run it and see. Run. There we go. Tell us it's 8. Alright, but we want this one to automatically change. Now that's where we have to add more lines of code for that to take care of that. So right underneath here now, let's use a new statement. If LBL tax period, grab all of that. If it equals 1, okay, then CBO tax period the text, and that is going to be equals January. That's it. And if. So we repeat the same for the others. So come right in here. We're now going to copy this using else if. Copy. So we say else if. Okay, we need more of those. That's it. So this is January, this is going to be February. Feb. and this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Error. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna bring this down. Cut it off. Bring it right down here. Alright. That is 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, this one will be February then. And this will be April, May, June, we have July there, August, and here is September, October, November, and December. There. Alright, have a good look at those lines of code. So I'm going to run that now. Run. Look at that automatically. So if I change this now, so I want this one to change, so we need some lines of code to take care of this. But as you can see, form load has done its own job. Okay, for the end user. So you run it, form load, there we go. So with that, I'm going to call it the end of the first part of this tutorial, and I'll see you guys shortly.